1. Alright. Now let me just swap everything over. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Oops.
Is the gang all here?
Should be.
Rose, do you exist? And also, do you have... Oh, you do have...
Yeah, Roses, everybody.
I just need to buy armor real quick. Hold on.
You absolute gremlin. Okay, well, good thing this is session 0. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Alright.
Sam,
If
are
everybody's
you
ready to
streaming
go,
yet?
you're going live in 3, 2, 1.
Everybody.
You're live.
Alright. They're still working on, waiting on the Rose, on the Goblin, because the Goblin is dingus.
This is like the only thing that I have to do because
Goblin
I
is
don't
dingus.
exactly need much else. It's just scram.
Well, Rose is game.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do this.
Ladies, gentlemen, those in between are not.
Oh, go ahead. Did Sam's audio die, or my...
I'm still here.
Well,
I just lost to roll 20 though.
Sam's audio
difficulties,
is
folks.
going in and out.
She did.
May, why did you kill her?
You know, this. She had it coming, I guess.
Hey, it's your fault.
Okay.
Oh fuck! No, don't play that, please. For the love of God. My alarm was going off when I was playing copyrighted music. You know, in the middle of 2 streams that are going on at the same time.
Great. Where's the speaker function?
Oh hey!
To be fair, your mic did not pick up any music.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
Fucking hang on, I forgot. Is that? That's on that side. Damn it.
Oh man.
Whatever. We'll do scuff.
Yes. To speaker. There we go. I think.
How much?
How
How much would you say studded leather plus 1 is? Oh, that's my DoorDash.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
Just a moment. But you I got your left hand runner.
Alright. I'll wait till Rose comes back and then I'll do a complete reset because audio just crapped.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the phone is coming in clutch right now. I mean, it could be worse.
Don't say that.
Absolutely worse.
Excuse me.
Oh gosh. And thankfully, this is just the session 0, session 1. So.
Yeah, that's why on my stream it has session 0-ish question mark.
Ish.
Being the key word.
Also, Skellis, why did you use a triangle token?
each campaign I try to do a different token for each one, so this one just
Okay.
randomly got the triangle one.
I mean, it doesn't matter or anything. It's just that it just looks weird.
I respect it. Anyway, are you still live or are you not live?
I'm still live.
Oh, fuck.
Why?
I'm currently not because audio.
Oh.
And I'm gonna wait for Rose to come back, and then I'm gonna do.
It's fine. It's fine. We can see the behind-the-scenes scuff on my end.
It's not like mine's any better.
Also,
the
every
perks of
time
being
anyone asks me for a price of a magic item, and this is just what I'm doing, right? For anytime that anybody asks me for the price of a magic item, I'm just using a random number generator.
Oh god, that's gonna be a nightmare.
Based
for
off
me.
of like the ranges, right? So like an uncommon item, right? Like a +1 armor or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it's 101 to 500.
And that won't be as bad considering spell scrolls are usually
Based off level,
pretty
baby.
fixed depending on the level.
By the by, bullets and/or bolts and/or arrows that can contain spells exist.
Good to know.
It's like having a scroll, but instead of having, basically, you would treat it like it's a spell scroll, except it's ammunition, so it would go off of your decks. Or if you have the ability to like replace that with whatever ability.
Interesting. Interesting indeed.
Aye. Also, I don't have them built yet, but I will be making strength bows.
Which makes sense, considering that,
Yeah.
contrary to popular belief, you need to also have some decent upper arm strength if you want to fire a bow.
Yes.
You do.
And ballista are a thing, and dear God, those things are huge.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What did I call? What is this place called again? Brain. What's
So-
the name of this city? Yggdralist. Yes, Yggdralist. Which basically just means. I mean, as you can tell
I'm just
here,
wondering whose general territory are we in? Are we in?
you are not in
Octavia?
any
Are we
of
in
your.
Cusinella?
You are not in any of your territories. I will give you that.
All right. This is becoming
are-
an international incident.
Yes, there are at least 2 other territories that will be in this base campaign that you will explore. By the way, yeah, that map there, the world map. That's not the world map. That is the country map.
All right.
Crunchy.
If you want more details as to what Kusanali is in terms of topography, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rose, are you having issues with the DoorDasher?
Again.
This is the first time?
No.
It's not.
There have been so many
You
times.
ran in 5, 4, 3, 2.
If she goes on a rant,
one.
I'm turning off the stream until she's done with that.
Yeah, which makes sense.
The last thing I want to be projecting across the internet is the rage of a small person,
Yeah.
Gabo. I really don't
Yeah,
need that
and-
right now.
Yep. Yep, just. Granted, this is the first recording with Rose. Anyway, so if everybody's here and everybody's relatively okay, I'll be restarting the stream or at least on my end, for 3, 2, 1.
Are we live on your end?
I clicked it. Oh, come on, OBS, really?
Fucking.
OBS says no.
This is
Don't
kind of why I'm
say
glad I
that.
stopped using it.
Don't say that.
Okay, I won't say that.
Somebody needs to Hildebrand OBS right now.
No. I just need the PC to run as intended. And
Okay, now I have the brand Sam's PC.
Okay, I'm on my way.
I mean, if you could help me build one at some point, that would be amazing. But
Also, sorry getting my food took so long. The droid actually doesn't understand the difference between the right side of the building and the left side of the building.
That sounds like a skill
Right
issue
si-
for the
right side and left side
for the
are
person.
that's based off of
I will play the
perspective, though.
soundboard, but we'll
Okay,
recharge,
guys,
so
we're
I'm not gonna do any
up,
more
we're live.
soundboards.
It's
You
tentatively
can do it.
working. Tentatively working. I hope.
Skill issue.
But, ladies, gentlemen, those in between are neither. Welcome back to our channels,
Howdy, howdy.
and I hope you guys are enjoying the chaos.
May, what you really need on that fucking soundboard is Gaia's such devastation.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
I can make that for you.
Excellent. Good.
Do you want the whole tone or
No,
just the
we just need
devastation?
such devastation. That's all we need.
God damn it. Tonight is not my night, but that's okay. I
you're
did say
fine.
there was a chance that I would lose my mind.
No, I never got my answer about whether I'm a plus one.
245. 245.
245.
245 minus 750.
You mean 750 minus 245?
The other
Yeah.
way around.
I'm like 99.9% sure I have dyscalculia.
Yeah, what?
Why am I-
Numbers don't work in her brain.
Numbers just don't work. And don't even get me started on shit like imaginary numbers and algebra.
No, that's where I go. Yeah, excuse me. No, that's where I go.
Well, while we wait for that,
Right.
welcome,
So
ladies and gentlemen.
505.
Welcome, my friends, all of you. This on the hang on. There we go. That's the thing. Just want to make sure this is. I have the correct thing here.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Okay. This is the world of Thalaria. And in the world of Thalaria, there are a great many nations. And each of those nations has been working with certain issues for at least 5, maybe 6 centuries. There's some long-standing problems that have been kind of preventing them from interacting with one another. Kind of locking them to their own respective lands.
There is a little bit of overlap, I would like to think, but not a ton.
Yeah, there's ever so slightly the
Not that
smallest
much.
amount. A few adventurers that can manage to make their way across to the other lands. This is not. This is unlike the the Cloudbreaker stuff or Cloudfall, where you're completely separate off. This is a. People have the ability to travel through. There is some slight, like, occasional diversity, like more diversity than is normal. But each nation has their sort of respective, like, this is the majority here, etc. And just to give a little bit of understanding of the cosmology of Thalaria, Thalaria has, well, for a starter, it has one blue moon with some green specks across it. Various cultures have had their own takes on that, whether the celestial bodies be gods and goddesses or the domains of such. The other notable thing about the planet itself, Thalaria, is that it has rings. These aren't as thick as, like, Saturn's rings, where they block out 40% of the sky. It's more so that they block out about 20% of the sky at their maximum. And, you know, the closer to the equator you get, the thinner they get, and more like a line it is that, like, separates. And trust me, once we get into that area, there is definitely some, like, theological and mythological beliefs there. Believe you me. But, like, the further away you get, the more they, the more the sky they take, up to 20%. And then the further north and south you go, the less of them you'll see, because it's, like, effectively more of the planet is actually getting in the way of the arches, or in the way of the rings, so they look more and more just like arches. And there are 2 stars. This is a binary system. Within this binary system, hold on. Within this binary system, there is a blue and an orange star. Effectively, a blue supergiant that is at the center of everything, and the orange dwarf that is orbiting that, which Thalaris is orbiting the orange dwarf. There are various names for them, though the orange is usually referred to as something akin to a traveler or perhaps a messenger, whereas the blue star is usually referred to as a king, an emperor, a diplomat of sorts. Not diplomat, but like an emissary. We are currently in the country, the territory of Galarak. Galarak is... There's a bit of clockwork going on in there. It's kind of your standard fantasy with just a little bit of a lean towards having some steampunk and clockpunk in there. Or gearpunk, I guess. A little bit Victorian. Or at least that is, remind myself of the name of this city. That is at least the nature of Yggdrasil in some of its surrounding cities. Yggdrasil is the capital of Galarak. Let me type that out for you so you can.
Just so that way we're not completely lost in terms of spelling.
Yes.
Such devastation!
Thank you, May.
There it is.
Oh, this is actually in a muted chat, I assume?
There you go.
Or not. Either way.
No, it's not gonna be in the middle text. It's gonna be in
Oh.
the thing. The ting.
Sorry, I thought it was in Discord, not in Roll20. My
Nope.
bad.
Well, I could put it in the other thing. Also, Skellis, bud.
Hmm?
Did you move?
Yes?
Did you move what you put?
Yes.
You moved it to the wrong thing.
No, what I had typed out was not for that campaign. What I typed out was for...
You thought of the wrong character. Okay.
Yeah!
Okay.
We can worry about it later.
Yeah. When
That's
I
fine.
read it,
As
I
long-
wasn't paying attention to the title of the group chat.
That's fine. And I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna pin it, so that I have it here forever.
How close is Galarak to Malaba?
Not.
Please.
What's up?
Who's the closest in terms of territory?
That is also
I
a good
think-
question.
Galarak is kind of. Galarak is kind of the Mordona of this area. If this place is
Excuse me.
if this place is Eorzea, Galarak is kind of the Mordona.
That
So it's kind of in the
that doesn't
center.
really narrow it down, but okay.
It's kind of in
And
the
narrows
center.
it down in the fact that it's China in the middle of all the nations.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That helps.
Because Mardana is in the middle of the city states and
Yep.
Eodia.
What's the main government system? What, like, is it a king? Is it
The main government system of this.
theocracy? What?
So Yggdrasil and Galarak as a whole has a what's it called?
A triumvirate?
I wanted to say a tetrarchy,
A-
but that's just me.
It has a three-pronged governmental system, sort of.
Okay.
Okay.
So, well, I guess technically there's four aspects. So there is the Lord Commander, who is effectively the leader of their military. So there's yeah. So sorry. There's the oh god. There's the Archbishop, which is the leader of their theological side of things. There's the governor of their which is sort of the legislative side of things, and then there are the aristocrats, which are the mercantile side of things, the treasury.
Oh, okay. just asking because this is knowledge that my character would have had at least at a time.
Yeah.
And I assume that it was somebody in the mercantile side that approved the fact that she's there, but that's something that we will get into later.
Right. Well, yeah. We can discuss that later. But as for your meeting here,
Dang it! Excuse me, sorry.
you're not excused. You are, and I hate to be cliche with the tavern.
But we meet in a tavern.
Yeah. It, not to be cliche or anything, but it's the best way to sort of call upon all of you.
It makes sense.
Yeah. It's the best way to call. It's the best place to meet for everyone, especially considering you are all from different nations.
Mm-hmm.
Different nations, different clans, different tribes.
Question: does this tavern actually have tea by chance, or no? Because Beatrice does not drink alcohol. She's more tea.
The real question is, does it have strawberry sundaes?
That's a good. That is a good point. That is.
I want to make sure I do the thing correctly and properly.
Oh, I need to.
Do you need to?
I need to find a. I need a familiar token.
Do you though?
I do.
I don't think you do.
Anyway.
You were all summoned here by one Valerin. You know him as an elf of, he is, I believe, a star elf? Which we can get into what that means later.
Yeah, he's some sort of elf.
He's definitely not a character that I just ripped from Cloudbreaker Alliance to use in his. No.
No, not at all.
I don't reuse my characters.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You are all you know that he has greenish hair with blue eyes. He wears some sort of armor, like some sort of metallic armor. More than likely in Oath of the Ancients Paladin. With his the note that called you all here, that called you individually here. To each you had various callbacks and call-ins to your nation's respective problems. effectively, he will offer you help with each of your nation's respective problems. However, there are problems that Galarak itself is struggling with.
And
Galarak itself
just
being
so we know,
what's up?
I was going to say, just so we know, Galarak's problem is what exactly?
I assume that's why he's here to talk.
Yeah.
In full country debrief, what would be the actual problem?
You'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
One of the the primary problem being undead outbreak.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. That fun shit. And just to point out, it is worth noting that there are certain parts. Being that this is going to be a hex crawl, for those of you that don't know what a hex crawl is, it's effectively you have parts of the map that will be unlocked as you go along. Effectively, it encourages exploration, and I'm kind of going with a little bit with the video game logic where events that haven't been triggered will only trigger when you reach them. If that makes any sense.
Which also means that anything that we miss or come back to is going to be harder in return.
Exactly. Because everything levels up with you. That being said, if an event that you happen to trigger has different possible outcomes or different possible, like, say you have an event that triggers and has you go, that has 3 possible directions for you to go in, like this. Putting off each one will have consequences for, or doing one versus the others will have consequences for the other 2.
Assuming that it's not back to the branch and quite anyway.
Yeah, it's not exactly a right or wrong thing so much as it is a what do you think you can handle versus like what do you think would be the most difficult to handle if put off. At any rate, yeah, there is a staggering undead uprising problem in the Galarak as a whole. Something that you kind of take notice of as you travel through, but as you're traveling through, you're not necessarily focusing on exploring or seeing the vistas around you. You're more focused on, getting to where you need to go and making sure you don't get ganked. But for some of you, getting ganked is,
not fun.
well,
Yep.
Also, for some of you, getting ganked is not something that you're, what's the word?
Inclined to want to happen.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to be ganked, but I'm pretty sure at least some of you are familiar with getting ganked. We'll put it that way.
Pain and suffering for Lizzie.
Pain and suffering for everybody.
I was going to say, go to assume that it's just you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
now, I'm gonna have each of you.
Do you want us to do initiatives
Yes,
or?
please do. Got that.
Make sure your tokens are clicked if the turn order is brought up.
We don't need to bring up the turn order for this. I'll just remember which one it is. This is just your bog standard get to know you initiative.
Ah, fair enough.
Lizzie to roll the highest.
Yes.
Well,
May, you would go before me.
I think introduction initiative goes off charisma.
No.
Either way, I still think he would go before me.
I am a master charisma character.
That is true. So, Garuk, you enter this. So, you go through this area. There are undead. In fact, roll me a nature or arcana of your choice.
Should have that one probably marked, but in this case, well, they're both a -1, so it doesn't make a difference.
Okay, okay. You've from the adventure, because there have been adventurers that have passed through the Untamed Wilds before.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard some of them in passing talk about things like undead and zombies and skeletons. You know what a skeleton is. You've seen skeletons.
I
But
created a couple or two.
But like, you know, animated skeletons, like they're talking about skeletons that moved around. You've never really seen that.
That's a new one.
Until today, as you're traveling through, or I guess this past like week or so, as you're traveling through with the caravan.
Ah.
These walking corpses are that's new to you. You've never seen something that has died and then gotten back up from being killed before.
Exactly.
You've seen things have like a second wind and like this rush of ferocity. But these things, the way they fight, the way they move is not natural. And honestly, roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom, you said?
Yes, wisdom saving throw. Okay. Wait. That's the wisdom check. I need to roll a wisdom save.
Oh, that would be the smaller one. Whoops.
There you go.
Sorry.
Yeah. It doesn't like unnerve you so much as it is like, ew.
That's new.
Yeah, it's just kind of gross. Like that time you accidentally stepped in wyvern shit. It's
That
like,
was a great day.
ew, gross.
Great day. Egg go break. Ugh.
Yeah, it's that kind of feeling, but like all over. It's just gross. You don't like it.
Just makes you feel disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't like.
Groot just literally hugs onto his steed, if you will.
Yeah.
Just meh.
I mean, you're probably fighting these and killing these as go along. And the caravan is making sure that no hordes get to you.
Which Garuk is thankful for, but at the same time, if it's time to fight, he will fight. Like,
well, you
if it's
do
go time,
end up getting into fights and stuff
okay.
with these things. That's what the caravans are for. In fact, caravans right now, aside from, fuck it, roll a perception check. Okay, now roll. There's not a technology check. I'm sad. Roll a basic int check. I guess that'd be...
Here we go!
Why is that canoe flying? Why is that boat in the sky flying?
Boat fly? When?
The boat used to be elevated. I didn't know they could
They do that.
What's an elevator? What is elevator? Elevator.
That's what I thought you'd say, you dumb fucking boat. Anyway, sorry, I had to complete the quote. Anyway, yeah. So somebody looks to you. Ah, that, my good sir, would be an airship.
Airship?
Roll another intelligence check. As he sort of explains the concept of an airship to you. I guess.
What do you mean? I rolled a 2.
I guess it would have been history. Do you even have proficiency with history anyway?
Regardless.
Should I roll the history?
No. Just you don't. The words just gloss over your eyes. You don't.
I don't understand anything. My mouth is slightly agape, and he can just tell I'm like, what?
Yeah, the word.
Oh my gosh.
Just like the words, the concept like thrust and elevation and aviation. These words that. I like your funny words, Magic Man. Basically. Yeah, you don't even catch like how you don't. He tries to.
I
explain
understand
it to
none
you,
of it.
But it's clear at a certain point that you just that he's not the guy to explain it to you.
Yeah, no. I have no idea. None whatsoever.
And it's not for lack of trying. The man tries to explain it to you. It's just
I know not understand what you say.
yeah.
It pings off your head like a marble. As
But
bad as that is to say.
you manage to make your way through, and you see, you see like settlements and towns, and these like weird like buildings made of. You've seen like log cabins and stuff. You have some of those at your camp, but like.
Those look familiar. At
But
least.
like the kinds of buildings that these wooden houses are made out of, or wooden buildings are made out of. It's not like they're log cabins so much as it is. You can tell it's wood, but it's like
Different.
There are strange colors on them, and then you get to the city.
It feels different even when if I were to touch the wood.
Yeah. Roll a very easy perception check. Or actually, what's your passive?
Give me a
What's
second
your
here.
passive? What's your passive?
Passive is 17.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna see it. You do see the massive fucking tower with moving parts on the tower, and like these like things that circle like spin on the tower, and some things that like will move up and down.
The Grook sees that he almost falls off of his steed, just trying to crane his neck up to see.
Well, you can see it from afar. You can see it from afar. It's just when you look at it, it's
Massive.
Alien. It's massive, but it's alien. It's foreign. It's
Alien.
It's
Mainly
the size
alien.
of some. Yeah, it's bigger than most creatures you've seen. It's bigger than most creatures you've heard of. But more importantly, it's how alien it is to you. How strange something like this is to you. All
Garuk,
these
not
moving parts.
comfortable.
Yeah, all these moving parts, all this. I mean, movement like that isn't. Movement itself isn't strange. It's how. The only word you can think of to describe it is unnatural or not natural. But not in the same way as those undead were unnatural. Because you wouldn't have you wouldn't have the concept or the word for mechanical.
Garuk not comfortable going near that
Well, unfortunately for you, friend,
thing.
well, it's just a tower. It's the
Tower.
clock tower.
Clock tower.
Yeah, I was told that those of the Untamed Wilds had no knowledge of the lands outside, but I never. There is much that you will have to learn, my friend. As you approach the city, you see massive stone walls that are fairly ornate. Not like super ornate, but like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a bit of embellishment. And these walls are something. I mean, it's not so much that you're unfamiliar with using walls. I mean, again, log cabins. You don't really have walls for your cities unless they're like not cities, but settlements, unless they're like in like a. How do I explain it? Unless they're like in a pit somewhere.
Right.
Or like you're using the wall of a mountain as like the
main defense.
Yeah.
Keep
But
out
you've never seen
alpha land krakens. As he's pointing at the walls.
Well, their primary
Looking to his friend.
well their primary purpose is to keep invaders out, which includes
In
the.
bay doors.
Well, you've heard the term invade before.
Oh,
You
when
mostly
other village.
Yeah, you mostly use the term that's used more often instead of invade or invaders is conquest or conquerors, raiders even.
Yeah, Grook's not even gonna attempt to try and even say any of those words.
No, you would know. No, like your character would know, or Guruk would know of the term, or Guruk would be more akin to use the term instead of invade, would use the term conquer, or raid,
Ah.
maybe even attack. Take.
Oh. Prevent take a village.
Well, that's no village, as you can see.
It not?
That's no moon.
Ah!
No, that's the capital
And
city.
target.
Capital city.
Yggdralist. That's our capital. I suppose it would be something.
Yggdralust.
I suppose this city would be akin to an alpha village, if that makes sense to you.
Oh. Like Gundabad village.
If this man doesn't know what a clock is, Lizzie's gonna blow his fucking mind.
Oh, you're in for a real treat then, honey.
Yeah.
He just says yes to you. You managed to make your way into the city proper.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are giving Grook bad stares considering what his steed is and all.
Side eyes. Oh well, but actually,
Just so
It's
that
not
people know,
like-
what exactly is Steed?
it's a dinosaur basically.
It is
Okay.
basically a dinosaur that is known to be that was given the title of World Devourer.
Well,
Okay.
it's akin to that. It is not quite a world devourer yet. Not sure if it will be.
No, they don't. Once they're tamed, they don't get. Basically, they're only double my size, and that's it. They don't get to the full five
Ah,
times
yes, hang
my
on,
size
let me-
natural height.
I forgot to do a thing. Why can't I? Oh, because I'm on the wrong. No, that's not it. There you go. It is size large, so it takes up that much space.
Yeah. Excuse me. Also, to clarify, Grook is 7'5", so roughly, the steed is about 14'9", 15", depending In height?
Tail or
in height. Not tail
Yeah.
length.
okay.
Yeah, from head to tail, that would be roughly about 25.
It would be roughly the size of an Allosaurus.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so you get through.
Probably like a medium-sized
Done. Focus. Back on target.
dinosaur.
No. Anyway, so we managed to make it into the city proper, into Yggdralist. Yggdralist is a village unlike any you've ever seen. Aside from its
It's like-
sheer magnitude, you have never seen a settlement this large before. 'Cause it
No.
just keeps getting bigger the closer you get to it. Now that you're in it, it's... Oh boy.
Which is really making Garuk uncomfortable. He's just like, I'd rather just turn around now. He would rather just be like, nope. He'd rather go away. He is genuinely intimidated by how the magnitude of this settlement is. It is making him visibly uncomfortable the closer he gets to that front gate.
Well, fortunately for you, the streets are quite large. They're like wide. You have open space. At the very least, it's not cramped and crowded. There are some cities, not necessarily capital cities, but there are some cities that are quite cramped for how big they are. Actually, yeah.
Going inside any building. Can we hurry this up? I double parked my dinosaur.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of which,
It's,
yeah,
well,
as
it's like
you oh god, roll. I don't want to say a survival because it's well. I mean, I guess it would be. I'll say perception and survival combined roll. Not combined.
Okay.
It's just
Oh.
separate rolls. It's a double thing. You gotta. It's two parts to the same roll.
Okay, so it's like perception first and then survival, and then depending on how.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. So there's a little bit of what's the word? Sensory overload. You've never been in a place this loud before, either.
yeah. The moment he hits the gates, that's when he's just like, all right, I'm done. I've tried. Yanks on what will constitute as the saddle and just like, nope, pulls away. I'm done.
Do you leave the city?
He just stops to just take a moment to
Okay.
calm the fuck down.
Okay.
Is mainly what it is. Like he takes a few steps away from the caravan, like he's just like not happy. Group not happy. He's even thrown his hand. He even has his hands up like I'm done. I'm at a loss. Even his steed she's probably just like wanting to back away, just not comfortable, not happy. Both of them are this way.
So at this point, I would like you to describe your character, please.
Standing before your friend is basically the equivalent of a massive lizard-like individual. When completely in war state, you've known him to unfurl his hood for when he goes into battle. This said lizardman is from a tribe that is considered to be somewhat nomadic, but also having a central area that they return to after they come from hunts, fights, or just scouting around for resources for the village.
Okay.
That does, yes, move from time to time, but that in itself takes a lengthy process to do so.
Mm-hmm.
This copper-colored lizardman is just very uncomfortable by the magnitude of this, and my brain just
City.
tanked. Fuck. Of this settlement, thank you. Of this settlement, whereas his steed, a Tyrannosaurus-looking individual, spiky as all hell. They are both visibly uncomfortable and just not okay by going near the sheer magnitude of this settlement. Excuse me, as they are both just trying to get their bearings and just calm down.
And what kind of clothing are you wearing?
As of right now, Grook is wearing a hide cape that he had created for himself with fur on it, and a war kilt. A very leathery, furry kilt that he had crafted himself after his first successful hunt.
Okay. So, from the gates themselves, like from within the city, there's somebody runs out from within the city, kind of seeing your reaction to everything. He appears to have white hair. He's got some very strange looking clothes to you.
He just what?
Yeah, his clothing looks.
Oh, his clothing, sorry.
Yeah. His clothing looks
You said he's into you clothing, I'm like, what? I was confused.
No, yeah. His clothing looks quite strange to what you've seen. I mean, even strange compared to some of the people's equipment that you've seen here, or clothing. There's what appears to be. I mean, it's clearly a coat of some sort, but it seems to like have these strange bumps on like the shoulders of it, and across like the forearms. These strange gloves with. I mean, you know what metal is, but you don't really have a lot of metallurgy. Most you're doing is like smelting iron, maybe brass or copper.
To forge either your more primitive weapons, such as like a metal bow, a heavy hammer, or a very long sword, something along those lines. Anything
I
after
mean, you
that,
guys don't really use swords all that often. It's kind of rare to see a person with a sword there.
Yeah, it's much more like axes, sickles, spears, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very large device of bunk.
pretty much is what actually he has.
He has long pointed ears that are kind of tilted back on his head, and these bright blue eyes with like almost starry, his eyes seem to glisten, like his irises, right? Like the blue of his eyes seem to glisten. And he has a very strange contraption on his back. It looks almost like a metal stick, but sharp, with a strange metal contraption on it, or metal. I guess I wouldn't know contraption. Metal thing on the where it looks like you grab it. And
Karuk,
he
help
rushes up.
can?
Yeah, he rushes up to you like, "Hey, you okay, man?"
The more he looks at him, the more he's like even physically just rearing back like, I am not okay. Like visibly his body language is saying, I am in distress. While he is also trying to be not threatening, he's just shell-shocked, if anything. Still.
This your first time to a big city, man?
Big city.
Yeah. Big city. It's like a village, but like bigger.
Large.
Very, very big.
He just cranes up to look up at the place. Very, very big compared to. No, you wouldn't know that word. No, very, very big. Bigger than Gundabad.
First off, I'm gonna roll something for him. I'm both surprised and not surprised. Gundabad.
Gundabad is
Is
basically
that
more of
north
a.
or west in the Untamed Wilds?
That would be more
He's asking that
near
in
the
person.
more
He's asking that
when
in character.
where rains lots near.
Okay, okay. So kind of close-ish to the shore, but not too close. There's still a few, like, 12.5 miles between there and the coast.
I would like to also give context on Essie's size comparison.
Oh yeah, he's 6
Gundabad
foot.
is only like a fifth. Yeah, Gundabad is only like a fifth of this entire thing in
Gundabad
size.
is probably less than a fifth. Probably more like
Probably no more than 100, 200 people.
yeah.
Considering it's the alpha village for them, I was under the impression that one would have about like 500, 600 huts, whereas the one he lives in is more like 75 to 110 at most.
Uh, 500.
So it's a city, but it's more like a pre-modern medieval city.
Yeah.
It's a city in the sense that, like, major cities in MMOs are. Yeah,
So it's basic. So Gundabad is basically Gridania, but in a jungle.
temperate
More
rainforest, but
dense.
yeah.
What reinforced?
Temperate rainforest. Think, like, Oregon.
The O.
Pacific Northwest.
Excuse me.
stuff.
The O rainforest.
Oregon.
Excuse me.
Oh, so it's a redwood rainforest.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Basically.
Anyway,
So Lizzie comes from the opposite of that, which is a pinewood rainforest.
yes.
Anyway,
Yes, anyway. Where are we?
Yeah, after a certain point, Karuk's tail is visibly just swaying about. Yeah, whoever you are, buddy, you can tell he is not okay.
Hey,
Just
it's gonna,
not.
It's gonna be alright, buddy. It's gonna be alright. I don't know why you're going through here, but I can help you get through. And at that moment, the clock tower. Bwong. Bwong.
Oh, no.
Bwong.
The moment he hears that, yeah, the moment Karuk hears that,
He's like-
he immediately just runs over to his steed and just yanks out his club
Whoa,
and just takes a complete battle stance.
Hang on. That's yeah. The man before was like, well, hang on. That's not necessary. That was the clock tower. That wasn't like a war bell.
What beast make that?
That's not a beast. That's a machine. It's a clock.
Clock?
Yes. Clocks tell time. That just told us that it was 3 o'clock.
Time?
Yeah, it's. I'm surprised that you guys haven't used, like, unless you don't. Maybe you don't have a numbered system for time, but I'm surprised you don't
I'm
have a
surprised a
concept.
sundial does not exist in that.
He would know that. He just wouldn't call it that.
Fair.
I mean,
Probably call it something like a sunstone or
I'm surprised you haven't. I'm
Daystone,
surprised you
like-
haven't used like, or I'm surprised you haven't used Thalaris' rings as a sundial.
Great grandfather's shields.
And get a roll for that. Yeah, that's probably gonna be high enough. So, Skelis, out of character, please explain to me great grandfather's shields.
Great grandfather's shields is basically the rings that are. Now they are what is protecting the blue sun. They are what is around the blue sun. Correct?
No, the rings are what is around the planet.
the planet.
Oh, the planet. Oh, then he would. I'm going to correct myself. He would have said grandfather's shields then,
Okay.
not great grandfather.
Okay.
Sorry, I kept
That's
From
fine. That's fine. That's
my
fine.
person.
I just need some explanation and context.
The rings are viewed as basically a gift from great grandfather Noor, who is what they call the Blue Sun.
Okay.
And the rings, or as his tribe would call it, the shields, they view it as that. It is a gift of protection from great grandfather Noor, who's considered to be the creator and originator of their world.
Okay.
Essentially, they view the blue sun as God, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the traveler, they think that the orange one is his bride.
Yeah. And so he takes a second. Ah, right. Ugh. And he sort of like surprises you with the amount of knowledge that he knows about that. Considering nobody that you've met on your journey thus far or your on the caravan is known. So the fact that he knows about the and as in good detail as he does is kind of surprising to you.
Hmm. So, not shields?
Well, they are shields after a fashion. They do help the tidal forces, the water. They help to keep that in a little bit of balance. As does the moon above. And he does something that is probably about to freak you out. Actually, no, he doesn't. I guess. He sort of tries to back in. Like, here, I can explain a little bit further once we're in the city. I do kind of have a job here. Oh, by the way, the name's Luke Silverhawk, and he holds out his hand to shake.
Luke Silver Hawk.
That's correct.
The moment he grabs your hand, he's not like trying to crush it on purpose, he's just trying to grab your hand, but for you, it's literally that cliche of crunch.
Let me take a look. That versus... Actually, it's about dead even. He kind of exerts the same amount of force back, just to reciprocate. And it's not to be
The
rude.
moment you
It's not to be rude either. It's just the he's trying to he's trying to help follow with if this is if this kind of grass is part of your culture, he's trying to follow that.
the moment he basically feels the exertion back, you can see visibly on his body a small moment of calm comes over Grook, as he then just starts shaking your hand. But the moment he does, that's when, oh, that's starting to hurt, because he's shaking it to where it basically your wrist is bending way further than it normally should. And he's not doing it to be an ass. He's just like,
we have
yay.
the same strength modifier.
Oh, we do?
Yep.
Never mind, then. They just shake hands, basically.
All right. Let's get you inside. All right.
He begins to put, basically, his his Oni bat away and get on to his steed.
By the way, that's a
Yeah, there are moments where... Sorry.
is it? That's a cool looking creature.
Oh. Devil Joanna. As you just see him patting on the... what would be the basically, like, the top back of her skull, of where her head is.
All right.
She and I hatched same.
Huh. It's gotta be some sort of ritual, though. Arcane or shamanic? Probably shamanic. He does a little bit of muttering to himself
Aw.
as he's walking, as he's leading you through the streets.
Yeah, she's not having it with the streets, but he's doing his best to keep her in line.
Oh, you will have to have her tethered to a stable.
If I could find a stable, I'll be having her
He says that.
lay
he
down
says that
finally
out
to
loud.
relax. Oh, you said that out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Where is stable?
Oh, there's usually a stable outside of each major establishment. This is a fairly big city, so having a mount like that is not a bad idea. And you eventually find your way through to the inn. Oh, what did you say your name was again?
Garuk Mazdamunda.
Alright, Garuk. Let's take a seat here. And he sits down at a table. From what I'm gathering, I'm probably waiting for some other people as well.
Other P
You know what people are.
pull. He just gives you a look that says, I'm confused,
Scalus,
basically.
you would know what people are.
Damn. Can't blame him for trying to stay in character with it.
It's like just because your character is from an pre-industrial society doesn't mean they're stupid.
Right. Even if your character has a -1, even if your character has a -1 int and is from pre-industrial, doesn't mean that you don't know the most basic common terms.
Like a 9 in intelligence just means like you're bad at math and you can't read.
Yeah.
Not even that. Not even that you can't read. It's just that you struggle.
Yeah, you struggle with things, so that's fine.
So I'm more like Grog.
Eh,
Kinda. Yeah. Well, considering that Grog has an intelligence
Or
of 6.
I'd say maybe more like Forrest Gump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is
Well, I have a better scope of how I should be
all
talking,
right.
but alright.
Galarak.
Like you're pre-industrial, but you're not a caveman.
True.
Anyway,
Ibarra.
Huh?
you're up.
You have traveled quite a way from the from your island home.
Mhm.
To this nation on the mainland. It is
Yeah.
different from what you expect. The air is not quite as mystical. Well, there's a mysticism, but not a good mysticism. You know, you have a concept of the undead. You haven't necessarily seen many undead in person. Maybe you've read a few tales of such things, or people have talked about them in your presence. But reading about them and hearing about them is very different from seeing a corpse move. You're no stranger to that which is unnatural. I mean, you are part yokai after all.
Yeah.
You come from the yokai realm, and you've come seeking the help of Galarak. Well, help that was offered to you in exchange for helping them first. And thinking about it, it makes sense. This is the centralmost part of this region, this continent, so clearing out and helping the centralmost part will allow for the outsides to be cleared out a little bit easier. Still, though, these animated corpses, these strange moving skeletons, there's even a strange one with a bull head.
The natives of this land are always odd.
Odd is relative, wouldn't you say? I mean, I suppose I'd find your folk to be quite odd. Says a high elf in with a cowboy hat and a duster. He's got a gun on his back.
These days just cannot find rest. Perhaps they need to follow a proper goddess. Or god.
Well, undead are a little bit different than that. These aren't the same kind of rising undead that you might have heard of in tales. The ones that just you get up for no reason. There's never no reason for the undead.
Mhm.
There's almost always some sort of person behind it. Someone manipulating these corpses. And most times their souls have already moved on. That don't make it right to puppet someone's body, though.
Like you're saying, all of these are necromancy.
Ain't much other reason that there could be. Of course, when dealing with vampires and other such undead of similar variety, there's the curse and the disease.
Yes, vampire are powerful yokai.
I'm gonna. If by, is that what you call undead over there across the bay?
Yes, undead. Yokai are unholy teachers.
Well, unholy does that don't narrow it down too much. Well, it narrows it down to fiends and undead, or should be devils, demons, and matter
Of
of
that nature.
yeah.
Stuff that shouldn't be, yet there are.
Well, I wouldn't say that all fiends shouldn't exist. Not all demons are.
Oh,
Not all demons ask to be demons.
Oh.
I didn't ask to be
Sorry.
born, Dad.
Well, actually, no. It's the mention of demons specifically.
Yeah.
some cannot be saved.
That don't mean you can't try. I may brandish this gun. I may have a. I may. This gun may be my pride and joy, but even I know that sometimes it's better to ask questions before you shoot. Lest you make a mistake that you can't take back.
Knowledge is important like that. If you shoot and aim your weapon at things indiscriminately, then it is poor use of a child and knowledge.
Can't say I disagree. May, would you mind describing Hibara's looks and appearance?
An high elf, 5G, wearing swine maiden robes, with a little trowel on her neck.
What would Shrine Maiden robes look like to somebody who has no concept for that?
A white lawn sleeve short with a red pants. White stockings on a ledge with sandals
Okay.
and the sleeves look like China oversized. Like there's a lot more room in there than series. And on her back is a charter shaft, and on her hip is a pistol. And on her other hip is a kind of like a bag that holds paper talismans in it.
Okay.
Even has a Mori. That is awesome.
Yes. Beatrice, you are a bit further back on this caravan. It sort of the caravan sort of
For good reason, I would think.
yeah. The caravan sort of stopped by through oh god, brain.
She has light brown
sorry.
hair, and she has one gray eye and one light blue eye. And she has a band-aid on her nose. And that'll be it for her physical appearance.
Excuse me.
Beatrice, the
Oh, I forgot one detail.
one detail.
She has a thoughts chair.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I should have said it sooner. I apologize. Grook also does have a tail, yes.
Yeah, I know. You're a lizard folk. Lizard folk have tails.
It's dragon. It's Dragonborn that you have to make the distinction for.
Yes.
Lizard folk usually do.
Is
But
it-
I'm a high elf with a thoughts chair, which is
A
not
bit
normal.
unusual. Yes. Yeah, this caravan stopped through, went through Kusanali as well. And Beatrice, I mean, you know what undead are. You've seen people use them.
It's not so much that it's the sheer amount of undead.
It's the sheer amount of undead and the fact that there's no obvious master for them, either.
Yeah, there's no obvious source.
Yeah, they're just kind of there. That's what's like eerie to you. That's what's like not,
I've
not
got
fun
a bad
for you.
feeling, and I don't know.
I've got a bad feeling.
I
about
don't know
this.
what to do with it.
Are you still kind of keeping your distance from people?
I mean, if somebody comes up to chat with her, she'll make small talk, but usually she kind of stays back.
Okay.
Just watching. Oh, and before you forget, is her assistant with her?
Being
Like,
with
is
knowing
Raina
the,
actually with her, or no?
knowing of the amount of undead currently, you are connected via link pearl.
Alright.
Just knowing how dangerous this area is currently. I mean, yeah, there's a caravan here, and yes, she can be left at the city or at Yggdrasil, but
It's not
that
not
doesn't.
a good idea.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly make you feel comfortable leaving her at a city that you've never been to for very long before.
Mhm.
The most you stayed in Yggdrasil for is like maybe a week.
A couple, depending on what she's had to investigate.
Yeah, it's
Regardless of the fact that she's not the only one that's being called forth, and there's multiple other nations getting involved.
yeah,
This definitely has her attention.
yes. Would you like to describe your character?
So, for those who actually witnessed, she is a pale high elf with one green eye and one gold eye. Around 6 feet tall. Her hands are gloved. And she's wearing a long brown coat with many pockets. For those who kind of need it, she's got a trench coat. If occasionally she'll peel back the coat and you'll see a old, what appears to be drawing tablet in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll also see that she has a knife in one of the inner pockets. Just in case. Just in case. Did I miss any? Oh, and she has what appears to be a surgical mask on.
Yes.
And that should be it.
As time draws
Okay.
near,
Does she react at all to seeing another high elf that has a fox tail?
Seeing the tail, she kind of blinks for a moment, like she has a tail. That's...
No, it's probably a clip, and then it moves like okay.
Well, it's still like, that's interesting. I need to make sure I see that so I'm not losing my mind.
Yes.
My new dice are very cool.
You what?
I got new dice for Yuletide, and they're very nice.
Nice.
Okay.
I also have a very large D20 that has bubbles inside of it.
You're welcome. Anyway, back on target.
So as time goes on, Beatrice, you're not particularly shocked by the sight of the clock tower. You've seen it before. It's still impressive. It's still really cool looking. It's just,
If anything, it may have gotten more advanced.
yeah.
Last time.
You do see an unfortunate sight. Some more armaments on there. And a strange thing producing
dear.
energy. You don't know what that thing producing energy is.
Can I at least... Is it magical? Is it mechanical? What?
From here, you can't tell. You're still really far away from it. It seems to be able to. It seems like it produces energy or conducts it in some way.
I'm not sure I like that. I will need to submit a research request. And for context, a research request is basically somebody from Kusanali will submit a research request to another nation and doing the, hey, can I investigate this?
Yeah.
And depending on the nation, sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes with certain conditions in place.
Right.
Hmm.
Ibarra, on the other hand, that's that's at least 1 or 2 orders of magnitude larger than the largest, or taller than the tallest building you've ever seen. Even taller than Atla's shining tower to the gods, or to the kami. Um, and
Why
it's
would they need such a large building?
and it's weird because there are things that move mechanically, gears and things that go up and down, like something that starts from the base here and moves all the way up to here and back down.
Excuse me.
Like some strange, what would you call that? Some strange sort of lift. It's a machine that moves you from one part of the tower to the other. And Beatrice, you know that. That's the elevator for the governor to get to his home at the top.
I see.
It was a grandiose construction. It was designed to be well, it's useful to get from point A to point B. Especially considering point B does get him to the town square where, meetings are held and the forum.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a forum where people kind of a limited number of people at a time are able to go in and
air
sort of
air out what they need to air out and go from there.
yeah, and come up with possible ideas.
I was just looking wide-eyed at it. Like such as doing the chain it does do when they're very confused or something.
Yeah.
Just
And you hear
head tilt.
boing, boing, boing. No,
Yeah, the moment I was
Skel-
ringing,
no,
our
Skel-
group basically stood up with a knife in his hand.
Skel, this is a rewind in time. This is the first. This is when you would have first heard it. They're just much further away at this point.
Oh,
3 o'clock.
okay.
Right on schedule.
Like it always is. You see someone off to your right, just sort of as the caravan's moving along, he's just sort of performing maintenance on his gun.
Yeah, just giving him a nod. The greetings from Kusanali it's not so much of a handshake, it's more of a nod, and then depending on if you're an apprentice to someone or if you're not, then how much you nod is. So that's just kind of a, oh, hello, you're there. I will admit, it's been many years since I've last been here. Has the amount of undead activity actually increased?
Much as I hate to say it, yeah.
I see, and preventative measures have not been taken? Have been taken?
He points up to the. He looks to you and points up to the strange mechanism. I'm sure you're aware of what a ballista of what a ballista is, and what cannons are, and harpoon guns and the like.
Yep.
Yeah, I hardly need to explain those.
Used for military, but
yes, these are designed to. They're designed to repel undead, especially undead that might happen to be able to fly. It's rare, but it happens.
I see.
Undead that can fly.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily unheard of, but I don't like the implications of that.
Yeah.
Me
It's
neither.
not a. They're not fun to deal with. Fortunately, we have the shield generator to help with that.
Shield generator?
And you see the Tesla coil looking thing, and you realize, oh, that makes sense.
I see.
You know,
Interesting.
times aren't great when we have to rely on making a force field to keep people out.
Well, it's not so much keeping people out, but keeping people in as well. Well, I suppose that's why they called me in.
Excuse me.
I suppose I'm not a. I suppose I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan of having to make sure idiots don't be idiots, but it is part of the job.
I hate to inform you that that will be a very common part of the job until the end of your employment.
Yeah, you see a badge on him.
She doesn't necessarily have a badge, but can he pick up on that she's...
Oh yeah.
Holds a similar position to him?
He's an inquisitive rogue.
I see.
Yeah. So, detective man's. Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a sheriff or a deputy?
He's a deputy.
I see.
That's why he's able to operate outside of the city.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you come across any other intel in regards to what's been going on here, by all means, feel free to try and contact me. I can't promise I'll be timely, but I can promise results.
Alright. Good to know we got more people on the case.
Well, worst case scenario, best case scenario, it's a cultural exchange. Worst case scenario, I lose my mind. I'd rather not have the worst case scenario.
No, worst case scenario, you lose your mind, soul, and body. Worst case scenario, we all lose that. But yes.
And here I thought I would not be the optimist.
Well, that's just a worst case scenario. I don't know if it's gonna get to that point. Oh, by the way, when you get into town, we got I don't know if you know them where you come from, but there are a few shops that are at least having some sales on them right now. And he pulls out a bullet, and it seems to be glowing.
Kusanoli does have firearms. She is not trained necessarily to have them,
Right.
but they actually exist. I see. I will keep that in mind.
And in case the bullets aren't your taste, they got it in bolts and arrows as well. Hell, they've even
Good
got
to
them.
know.
They've even got them in little stone pellets for slings.
Perfect. Though I have to ask, is there any sort of apothecary
Of course.
that you would suggest?
Oh. There's always Mad Jane's.
Mad? That's
That is the selling
That is
point.
comforting.
That is her how do I put this? Her
moniker?
yeah.
I do hope she's not actually mad. That would
No, the only
like
thing insane
problem.
here are these insane prices. He has like a slightly sarcastic tone when he says that, as
I
though he's
see.
been
GTFO.
as though he's been there enough times for that like
For
slogan
that
to
tagline to get good.
yeah.
For that pitch. I see. Well, it seems I'll have to pay Miss Jane a visit once I get into town.
Perhaps. And at this point, you eventually manage to make your way to the gate itself, and you find your way. You're both able to find your way to the same tavern, where you see another
I could go
fucking
first
elf.
for unless the
Another
Wait.
elf with white hair, blue eyes, weird looking clothes, and a weird fucking lizard dude. There's also a big lizard outside.
Just for context, because she noticed the giant lizard outside.
It's tethered.
Does Luke? Okay. How do I word this? Is Luke short for something like Lucas, or is it just Luke?
It's just Luke.
All right. Switching to elf. Well, that's a familiar. Also, what is his rank, if he has one?
Lieutenant.
Well, that's a very familiar lieutenant.
And in Elven, right back. Oh, well, howdy. Come on over. I take it you
Just
got the
rips
same
a
job?
chunk off of the leg he's eating on.
Leg.
Beatrice will just kind of nod to him, just hello.
Oh yeah, that's
I
Garuk. He's a big boy.
pleasure to meet you, Garuk. I was aware that this was a international affair, but I didn't think Octavia would actually get involved.
I mean,
Tabia?
yeah, the Empire.
Huh?
My home.
You don't see many lizard
Oh.
people around here.
No, you'll usually find
Oh.
them in the Untamed
Oh.
Wilds.
Interesting.
I've been through there a few
Like-
times.
she wants to research get Guru, but at the same time, she just does not want to be weird. She doesn't want to be weird about it.
Yeah, Luke will like quietly say to her, like in Elven, now is probably not the best time to do research. He's still a little bit on edge.
I don't necessarily blame him, given the current state of affairs.
I turn
The
to
m-
the loop and I talk in Chechonic. But do you speak Chechonic?
Huh? What are you all saying?
I believe you have Draconic because you're a lizard folk.
Yeah, consider that you are part lizard.
It's weird that lizard folks have Draconic, but
It makes less sense than kobolds having them. Kobolds have this draconic, but like lizard folk is weird. They have it.
Not really. I see lizard folk as distant cousins to dragon. But anyway, moving on.
Okay, seriously, out of it. It sounded like you said Teutonic.
that's fine.
Nay, not Draconic. That's why I was confused.
You
It's just my speech impediment.
do you
Sorry.
speak Tectonic? What is
In-
the
Speaks primal.
In response to the Draconic. Oh. Sorry. Didn't quite catch you there. My apologies. As Groog is basically holding out his hand to Hiabara.
He'll hold out her hand and shake his hand.
As
Nice to meet
gently.
you.
Sorry. Yeah, as gently as Karuk can, he shakes her hand.
roll a dexterity check?
Likewise. Same.
Huh?
Who's rolling
Uh,
dexterity?
Me.
I see.
It shouldn't be too hard for you. Yeah, no, you managed it. You managed to not be a fumbling oaf for once.
How are the
Same.
unseen wires these days? He says in Chechonic.
Forests sleep. The sands shift. And the grass bites. Not well.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. That bad.
And
The moment he gets done saying that, he spits on the ground.
and in Draconic, Luke says to him, "That's rough, buddy."
Yeah,
Indeed.
you actually understand him, Luke.
I'm at war with dragons. Of course, I understand Draconic.
So he's speaking Draconic. I need to brush up on it.
You're at war with dragons?
Yeah, they're trying to
Are-
It is Helen as he pops back to Charmin. This
yeah, they're kind of trying to destroy everything that we have.
Even the metallics?
dragons would never do that. They're the Chinese teachers.
I have images to prove otherwise. And he does this thing. Well, I'm gonna wait to do the thing because I want everyone to be there.
I understand that, but could you at least answer the question? Even the metallics? Because even if metallic dragons are getting aggressive,
That's not good.
Well, remember this is not Faerun.
True.
But on the to answer that question, I have not put in metallic dragons on this side. It's mostly just been using chromatics.
Okay.
There are no metallic dragons on Octavia's side of things.
Okay, just this is good information to know.
There
Also,
are
as the
metallic
character
dragons that
who
exist
knows
on the
a lot of
continent. It's
things.
just yeah.
One of my best friends was a dragon.
To that
Oh,
he's
this is
a little tense.
Perhaps we can discuss this some other time.
Oh, okay.
As kind of a effort to not have a brawl happen.
Lizzie.
Oh,
Lizzie.
I'm here. I was expecting you to
Oh,
start.
you're finally awake.
Wait, that was out of character. I have a character voice in this.
Come on, wake up. I know it's been a bit of a time, but come on.
God damn it! Don't what?
Ugh. We're almost there, and you should see why you're being called here.
Okay, who's speaking?
NPC to know what it's playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like who does Lizzie? It's like this is obviously somebody who knows Lizzie. I need to know. I need to know who I am speaking to.
This is this is one of the people from a refugee camp from that thing that happened.
So somebody from home,
Yeah,
or at least
it's another goblin. You. We're gonna call this a goblin. We're gonna call him Gizbo.
Really? It's,
know, well,
that's gotta
actually,
be a nickname because that's gotta be a nickname because
No, sorry, his nickname is Gizmo. He's got some tinkering abilities, kind of like you, but he's much more on the tinkering side of things. He makes things explode too, but without the witchy
me.
stuff, and more just.
I trust.
Go ahead.
It's like I trust him to change the oil on the tractor, not to be anywhere within 5 feet of blasting powder.
And yet he always manages to get his way in there anyway.
Now, Giz, I don't know why you drug me here. Bad enough after what happened.
Listen. There's only so much that can be done about that situation.
And I could be hunting for the bastard that did it, but no. You have to pull union ties to get me over here.
You could be hunting for the bastard that did it, and end up losing another limb, or maybe your fucking head.
She just growls. But acquiesces to his point.
Unfortunately, we need as much help as we can get. And if this nation's offering, well, we gotta at least listen to their deal.
I just don't understand why the Union couldn't have sent somebody more diplomatic. This ain't my forte. Or yours, for that matter.
But you know what it is. And he lights a bomb and throws it over the edge.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
He points to where he threw it.
Oh,
Walking corpses.
fair point.
And
I
then
guess those
not
gliders
walking
were getting a
corpses
bit-
because they explode.
I guess those blighters were getting a bit close, but still, say something before you light one of them firecrackers off.
You know I never intentionally hurt no one with them. Well, no one that don't deserve it.
There's a reason you're banned from the blasting powder stores.
And yet I always manage to get some.
Because you're the only motherfucker in the village that knows how to pick a damn lock.
He just shrugs.
Damn fool boy ain't got no sense.
But they need help with their undead problem. We need our help with our kid shit. And don't you worry, I'll be staying in town for a bit.
Lord knows I can't keep track of you if you're following behind me. Well, I can, but
It'll take some doing.
wait, what did he say?
He said it'll take some doing.
Damn straight. Boy, he can't keep track of distance or location if he killed you. Remember the time I had to pull your ass out of Haines Hollow?
You know, I was gonna bring that up.
I am. Because you almost died.
Last I checked, though, I'm still alive.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Satisfaction brought it back.
Oh, you motherfucker.
About the time you see a clock tower. You don't know it's regular clock towers, but god damn is this thing big. Especially for you, considering size small.
Damn, I know these Yanks built shit big, but that's something else.
And even from here, you can hear the bwong, bwong, bwong. From here, it sounds about as faint as a normal clock tower from the edge of town.
It sounds almost like the temple bells back home. Well,
Yeah.
it sounded.
One thing's for certain, they don't do things by halves.
Damn straight, you didn't say that again.
Wait, is that thing... He points to part of the tower, like this part over here, that starts moving. It starts moving like you know, in that arch.
Can I Tinker's check that?
Yes. At first you thought that.
16.
At first you thought that was just for a show. Just showmanship, craftsmanship, or that maybe the gear on the outside there spun but that thing kept in place. And then now you're seeing it move, and you realize that's an elevator. Oh, weird elevator, but an elevator nonetheless. One that
That
goes
is the
directly to the top. No
that
stop.
is the damnedest design I've ever seen for an elevator.
Damn straight. What the?
Bet that
I mean,
bet that thing breaks down more than the mining lift. It's all fancy doohickeys and shit.
admittedly, it is an express. It seems like it anyway, because it doesn't have to stop at a bunch of different spots on the tower.
Definitely shoots up like a bottle rocket.
Speaking of which,
Got a little pit to it.
them cannons.
You see any arcane sigils, or they just blast them powder?
Well, I'll be damned. That one has something strange about it. I'll be damned. That one's a Gatling gun.
Damn. Guess they have the gold to prove it.
And as time
Her
goes by,
daddy was salivating at that.
as time goes by, as time goes by, you manage to you make it to the city, and yeah, it's pretty fucking big. It's about as big as the biggest city you've ever been to.
Lizzie will
Make it bigger.
Lizzie will do once they're like off the caravan, Lizzie will like flourish her hand and hold her flesh and blood orb out. And she's calling for a familiar.
Ah.
And down swoops this rather large for Raven
Lord.
so black it's almost blue raven that just lands on her arm, has sort of kind of ashy texture floating around it.
Alright. Wait, does it land? Wait. Roll a basic charisma check, please.
Seven.
It lands on your head.
Damn it, Magne. You just sort of shrug and lets Magne sit.
Okay. Do you Alright. So well, this is it. This is where the city's at. And this is where you and Giz will depart.
Keep in touch, Giz. Seriously.
You do you look to him? Roll a perception.
Passive is a 23.
Just roll perception.
He said roll it. It's active.
Yeah, no. He's gone. Even with passive, it's
Damn
still.
it, what? Motherfucker.
Giz is also a
Especially
rogue.
when it's us
She pinches the bridge of her nose and says slicker and goose shit and half as bright.
You make your way over through the streets of these biggin folk. And you see a tavern. You see, for some fucking reason, a big ass lizard.
Is that a fucking dinosaur? What the? Damn. The city folks is weird.
Does she know?
Huh?
I was doing the meme, the does he know meme. But
Mhm.
it's a does she know.
Oh, for the
so-
love of.
Anyway, you managed to make your way
But-
in, and there's a. You were aware that it was a multinational deal, but that's a fucking strange cavalcade.
The minute Beatrice actually sees a goblin representative from Malava, oh no.
Yeah, Lizzie steps.
Huh?
Shit.
Lizzie steps into the tavern. She's wearing what's effectively frontier clothes. She's got a leather vest over her chest that's studded with rivets. A blue denim blouse. Thick midi skirt. A thick maxi skirt, probably multicolored. And she's wearing specifically a very red bandana marked with the sigil of the United Guilds of Malava, which is the it used to be a symbol of the Malavan Revolution, but is now sort of a symbol of office.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that Beatrice went, oh no, is because Kusanali and Malava have the complete opposites in terms of magic policy. Whereas Kusanali is is pretty much regulated. Malava's is very much not.
Well, it's regulated, but we don't exactly have much in the. We put more stock in stock, lock, and barrel than we do magical
Yeah.
magical universities.
Still, the two have been
Well.
a pain in each other's sides for years.
Well, shit. If this isn't gonna be some culture shock.
I expected
What
they would be
the?
better, but I didn't think that they would be this explosive.
That's fine.
For
Knife
you,
ears come in small?
Yeah.
It's like she does. Did you say knife use?
big.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
Wait, sorry, Garuk. What did Garuk say? I want to.
He said, and I quote, knife ears come in small?
Oh dear. The minute
I'm.
Beatrice hears knife ear, it's Garuk. Please don't say that.
I'm sure you don't mean anything by it, but that is kind of a not nice thing to say about
defensive
people.
is old shit.
That's racist.
It's also liable to get a. It's liable to get you in
Right.
trouble.
I am back home.
We are elves. She is a goblin.
Goblins are also culturally very proud of their ears. Lizzie, however, is she's about 3'2", 3'4". Piercings in one ear. Another ear has a large diagonal chunk cut out of the tip. She's got a massive scar that runs across her face that intersects with her right eye. It's milky and dead, but her remaining eye is an almost startling glowing red.
Also, as you
So
walk in, like you literally walk into Luke during this thing. Like you open the door as Luke says, I actually have picture evidence showing, and he does this thing. He how do I explain it? It's like this weird illusion magic that he creates of screen images.
Beatrice has probably seen this before.
Oh yeah.
the moment the moment Krook sees them, he's just immediately trying to touch what's going on.
Garuk, don't.
They're holograms.
You can't actually touch.
Hologram?
Pictures,
Pictures,
but made
yes.
out of light.
Thank you.
Pictures of light.
Pictures made out of light.
Yes.
Made of light.
Yes.
Why didn't you use illusion magic?
It's not magic.
It's technology.
Can I tinker check the
Disadvantage.
hologram?
As I say, the only reason that it's disadvantaged is because it's pretty far ahead
Not-
of your time.
It's opinion tech.
Yeah. Even still, with that, it's strange, but you actually roll a perception too.
Oh.
A nat 1 and I still get a fucking point.
F. However, this still can be to the favor. There's a bit of a glint from his wrists like from the wrist of his sleeves, which like causes you to like close your eye a little bit, like ah, because it you just barely looked at it at like the just the wrong angle. It doesn't hurt too much. It's just like what the hell. But from what you can gather, it seems like. I mean, first off, it does not seem like he's lying when he says it's tech. Second off, it seems like it's something that can. Well, these, at least on a two-dimensional scale, can replicate minor illusion. Or can act similar.
Empire's had a power breakthrough, haven't they? And by power, I mean electrical.
Oh yeah, we've had
Grook is just swinging his hand through the holograms.
quite a few technological breakthroughs recently. You know, comes to the territory of having to constantly build things.
You should have gotten several research requests recently. Now, whether or not the Empire actually accepted them is a different matter entirely.
No, in the Empire, they tend to keep a tight eye on their technological advances.
Oh, I'm fully aware. Hence the requests. Lest you forget where I'm from.
Man,
No,
Fair.
and I know where you're from. I'm just saying the Empire is a bit stingy with their tech.
Again, hence the requests.
hey DM, may I roll a perception check to figure out, because it's starting to sense like there's a little bit of tension between the two of them.
That would
Yeah,
be insight.
you don't even need to roll it. The tension is obvious.
There is yeah,
Lizzie
you
is
can cut the air with a
innately
knife.
distrustful of Lizzie is innately distrustful of an agent of a monarchy.
Kusanali's not a monarchy.
She's not tense with you. She's tense with Luke.
Eh, Honestly, I think it's more Kusanali that you need to worry about. But that's
Like,
just me.
it's like Malava may not agree with Kusanagi, but they understand them. They actively distrust the Empire.
And that's only because they don't have the full scope of what the Empire is. Because it's not a full Empire. It's not an empire
Yet.
in the way that they think that it's an empire.
Anyway,
Mostly several diplomatic events in the beginning of the Union went sour with the Empire, and it's kind of flavored everything going forward.
I wouldn't say so much
There's not-
stingy with the tech. It's just, unfortunately, we gotta use what we've got. I'd say everywhere's got their fair share of issues right now.
well, if we have time after the current affair that we're all a part of, for some reason, I'd be more than happy to help.
I appreciate it. And with that, I need to swap layers. A certain elf that you've all, oops, that has written you all before appears. Sort of walking
Just
from the
walk
back.
in. Is it a hologram?
He walks in from the back. I see you've all met each other. Good to know.
Our employer, and she'll just kind of she'll bow to him a little bit deeper than what she did to the sheriff's. What she did to the sheriff, simply because this new elf is technically her employer.
Yeah.
This would be the friend that helped me with the bear trap that one time.
No, there's no need for such formal introductions. I prefer to keep things a little bit light. There's already too much of that. There's already too much of that formality in the upper rings.
And you, could you please repeat what his name was again, please?
Governor Vailrin.
Oh no, it's not who I was thinking it was then, never mind. See. Okay, now my brain completely tanked. I am so sorry. I feel like I just derailed
Vailrin
and
is
I
your
didn't mean
employer.
to.
He's also the governor of this city.
Mm-hmm.
Was he also the friend? That's what I was asking for.
Oh, no.
Then never mind. Yeah, the individual that was the friend, Grook would have basically been like, my friend, and basically bear hugged him.
You can tell that that Vailrin is like, while he's in a position of governmental power, it's that thing of like, it's, he doesn't hate being here, but it's also,
He's not the biggest fan of his job.
yeah, it's like
One way of putting it.
Emmerich in Final Fantasy XIV did not expect to be put as in such a position, and is now thrust into. It went from one political position to another, and is like, well, god damn it.
Like, I do not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have no use for formalities, let's cut to the quick, as it were.
This is where I'm going to call it for the night. It is
See?
9:30.
9:30 almost.
Yeah.
And this is a place to
But
call
I
it
do
anyway.
think that was a... Yeah, that was a good A good setup. Is this gonna be a weekly thing? Is this gonna be a bi-weekly?
I'm gonna try aim for every other week.